welcome back to Cosmoholics Anonymous. I am your favorite girl, Bo Vintage, and today's video is my Love and Hip Hop review. I actually have a lot to do. I'm working on the Deadbeat swimwear. I am working on so many different things, and so because of that, I kind of have to rush through this video and my next video and Botox. So that's why I'm not doing my makeup, because these videos do take quite a while to film and I have a lot of other things going on. So no makeup. You guys generally don't even care about that stuff. You guys just want to hear about the episode. Last week I did not review Love and Hip Hop because it was a Jocelyn delivery special and I didn't think it was worth the review, but I did let you guys know that ahead of time. I also did not review my Bad Girls Club reunion part 2 or whatever, part 3, because it was just a waste of my time. And I also did not review Basketball Wives because I was bored to shit. So I didn't do any reviews last week. I know you guys are waiting for them, but they just was not gonna come, okay? That's just what it is. So let's get a ship hopping. So in this episode, Stevie is the opening scene. He opens up the episode talking about Bonnie Bella being born and how Jocelyn or Dawn or whoever called him 15 minutes after the delivery. And he also is talking a little bit about his relationship with Jocelyn. His daughters are at their house and he's talking to them about the baby as well. And they're basically kind of worried because they feel like it's going to be him rekindling his relationship now that Bonnie's born, but they definitely don't want that at all. He shows them the baby. They're like, oh my god, she's so cute, blah, blah, blah. So his daughters actually ask him if he has told Eva yet. Eva is his little baby daughter. Not baby, but his little girl with Mimi, the same one that Jocelyn said that he molested. And so he said no, he has not told her yet, and they basically told him he's trifling because he should have told her already that she has a little sister and that it's Jocelyn's baby. But Eva did know Jocelyn was pregnant. Eva knew Jocelyn was having a baby, she just didn't know the baby was her sister. Okay, his daughters are claiming that they want an apology from Jocelyn. They are saying that in order for them to move forward with her, they would need an apology. Not necessarily move forward like she's allowed to come stay at the house and stuff. Just move forward and be cordial, because now Jocelyn is one of their sister's mom. Like, how Stevie got so many damn girl picnics, girl? How he got so many girl children? So this next part kind of surprised me. Stevie was in his confessional and he was talking about Jocelyn, the whole Jocelyn situation, and once again he wasn't saying what she said because they just don't address that. Like, they don't say Jocelyn said I molested Eva. Like, he's not gonna say that. He basically chalked up her social media outburst to a temporary moment of insanity. What are you talking about? No, Jocelyn being crazy. Like, it wasn't temporary. She's crazy. She's crazy to the point where she would accuse you of something so disgusting. So I was just kind of shocked that he's defending her yet again. Like, he's just, I don't know what hole she got on this man, but whatever. Everybody, us at home, Mimi, his pickney, like, everybody's looking at Stevie like he's fucking crazy for even engaging Jocelyn. Like, to deal with her as your mother's child is one thing, but to even, like, if you're following the blogs and stuff, you see him and Jocelyn are still kumbaya. Like, they post pictures together, they look like they're in a relationship again. So in the next scene, it is Tammy, Waka Flocka's girl, and Bambi comes over to visit her, and the first thing I noticed was Tammy's closet, which I actually think is a spare bedroom, but she just turned it into a closet, and I was like, oh my god, this is everything I needed in my life. Like, goals, okay? Tammy's house is really freaking nice. She's definitely doing really well for herself, being as though she is, like, you know, she's being independent, pretending to be hard to get for Mr. Waka Flocka. So, of course, the Bam comes over to talk to her. We haven't really seen Bambi since her and Scrappy broke up, and so it was kind of nice to see Bambi. Tammy just basically venting to her, telling her that she can't trust Waka, and she's saying that she wants Waka to feel what she felt so that he could never put her in that position again. So basically she's letting us know that she will definitely be getting back with him, okay? We already knew though, like, that's not news to us. We know that Tammy loves Waka and wants to be with Waka. It is what it is. My thing is, I don't feel that Waka actually respects Tammy, because he treats her like a doormat and she allows it, and it's just like a reoccurring cycle. So I'm not here for their relationship. I'm not. I used to be like the first season that they appeared together, I was here for it, but then once I realized Waka Flocka was just a cheating asshole, I was just like, she needs to do better. Bambi said that she's happy that her and Lil Scrappy called off the wedding because it just would never have worked out. She says that she feels Scrappy is irresponsible and immature and selfish, and like he's just not where she needs him to be. She cries because obviously she's heartbroken. Like, they were supposed to get married, but like even the engagement was like, what the hell? So like I was rooting for them, but I didn't, like, I wasn't holding them to any standard because their relationship was always up and down. It's always been kind of rocky, so it didn't surprise me that they have broken it off. It really doesn't surprise me. She was saying that she feels like she didn't have to do everything that she's done in terms of moving out to Atlanta or whatever. She's like, how she was established already. She had her own shit and she came out here and now look, like, it's done. So Tammy basically just encourages her to get back to being her old self, and she just is being a good friend, consoling her and just letting her know that she can be alone again. Like, she doesn't need to have Scrappy by her side to be the woman that she has been forever. Basically, a boss ass bitch, okay? So in this next scene, I was living because Young Jock paged Treasure P's trifling ass for spilling the beans about his trifling ways. Everybody in the show is trifling, so it is what it is. But he paged her about spilling the beans to Cena because she had no place. And when he had spoken to Treasure, he said, no, you don't need to do that. And she ain't listen, bitch. She just did not. He starts off by letting her know about the altercation that happened at the club between Cena, Carly Red, and Tommy. And basically letting her know, like, you put me in a compromising position by opening your big ass mouth. Treasure doesn't feel as though she was in the wrong, so she starts going off. Okay, she is talking so fast. I can't even imitate her. Her accent and her voice was squeaky as hell and annoying, and I could not deal. I couldn't wait for her to shut up, but she does talk hella fast. She was just saying that she felt that she needed to tell Cena because that's her homegirl, blah, 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 day. And so Jock was not having it. And when she was going off on him, I was looking at him, I'm like, he's about to fire her ass. Like, bitch, bad. Bitch, if you get fired as an intern, like, you're not even getting paid. You're an intern. How you gonna get fired as an intern? That's when you know you fucked up. Jock does fire her. He's like, this is a conflict of interest because you're out here telling my business when you don't need to be to my baby mother, and that is going to now affect your work. And so she doesn't see how that works. I see it completely, child. I don't know why I'm taking Young Jock's side, but it's because these bitches I can't stand Carly Red or Cena. Like, I can't stand them. So yeah, I'm gonna take Jock's side in this one because I agree. Like, you don't need to tell my business. If I'm not telling them my business, you don't need to tell them my business, okay? So Treasure does end up crying because she wants to do this radio thing so fucking bad. And she ends up leaving as she's cussing out Jock as she walks through the damn door, okay? So in this next scene, I was so freaking excited because my nigga Gunplay is, I don't know if he's gonna be on Love and Hip Hop Miami. I did hear rumors that there is gonna be a Love and Hip Hop Miami, and that's probably why they're introducing Gunplay. But I was like, finally a real motherfucking rapper, like somebody that's actually a little bit relevant, a little bit more relevant than the people that have been on the show. Because I can't even, like, who was the most relevant person on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta? Like, I can't even think of somebody that's actually been, like, relevant career wise. Like, nobody on Atlanta has ever been an actual, you know, somebody that we actually know about. Some people probably don't know who Gunplay is, but I know who the fuck Gunplay is. So I was really happy to see him because he's hilarious. If you guys don't know who Gunplay is, go and like YouTube him, like search him on YouTube and go see his like adventures videos. I fucking love it. But he's from Florida or whatever, so he does like wild boar hunting and shit. Like, you guys have to watch his videos. He's late, and he does, like, if you watch his interviews too, like Breakfast Club and stuff, you would love him. He's hilarious. But yeah, Gunplay is my homeboy. So Gunplay's in the booth, and then once it comes out and there's literally all the guys were there, I was like, oh my god, these dick riding ass Like all the guys were there, and so Stevie congratulates Gunplay on a hot record, and then Scrappy congratulates Stevie on the birth of Bonnie Bella, and then of course it's the tea spilling for the men. That's the one thing I don't like about this show. I'm just like, men don't do this. Like, do they? Like, do men really sit there and like spill tea? Because that's all that goes on the show. I'm like, I totally get it with the women spill tea, but once they started to make the men have these little meetups and stuff, I was like, huh? No, just stop, Mona, please. But yeah, Stevie said no more beefcake from Miss Jocelyn Hernandez. Jock actually starts telling them about the drama from the club, and I was just like, really? So when he starts talking about the whole Tommy situation, they start pressing him to ask him, like, are you sleeping with Tommy? And he's not saying yes. He's definitely saying no. And so I believe that. I don't think, but the way he's saying it is like he doesn't want to say no. But he lied on his dick before, so I'm glad he's not lying today. Well, I don't know if he lied on his dick, but when it came to the situation with Rod and Kirk's new baby mama, he was saying that he smashed the Jasmine, but then like he kind of recanted, but not really. Like, it was complicated. So when he wasn't saying that he smashed Tommy, I'm like, I know this nigga don't want no problems. Even if he did smash her, I'm glad he didn't say anything, because like, you're not gonna kiss and tell, okay? Or smash and tell. So I was happy. Thank you, Mr. Young Jock. During this conversation, Scrappy actually says that he's going to move to Miami. And so I'm like, so is he gonna be on the cast of Miami? And like with Gunplay was hilarious in his confessionals. I was just like, yes. Yes, Gunplay, yes. He brings a different flavor to the show, you know what I mean? And so he's already telling us that he has problems with his shorty back at home. And so I'm like, okay, if there is a Love and Hip Hop Miami, he's obviously gonna be on it. So Gunplay is happy that Scrappy wants to move to Miami, or that he is moving to Miami. Scrappy says now that Bam is not in the picture, he can just do what he wants to do, and so that's why he's taking that ass over to Miami, okay? Because that's where all the jubbies are. So see you in Miami, Mr. Scrap. And yeah, he tells them that the wedding between him and Bam is off at this point, and that he's ready to get his play on. That was basically it. You know, it was a little bit of a tea spilling, a little bit of an introduction to a new person. And I'm actually shocked that Gunplay actually is going to be on the show. Like, I'm actually surprised by that. You guys don't know, like, I've never would have pegged him to be the type to be on Love and Hip Hop, but at the end of the day, he's signed to MMG, or I don't know if he's still signed. Yeah, he must be still signed to MMG, and that's Rick Ross's label. And like, out of all of Rick Ross's artists, I would say he would be the least popular. Like, Wale, Meek Mill, Gunplay. And Gunplay to me has always been the least popular. Oh, why am I even going in about this right now? Anyway, let's move on to the next scene.
So basically what happened was Mama D took her little puppy and went to Ernest's mother's house in the hood. And she was doing the absolute most. She was telling the puppy to be careful because she didn't want the puppy to get roaches in its in its fur. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this lady? Mama D is crazy to the point where she is accusing Ernest's mother of wanting Ernest to replace his father. I don't even know if you guys can understand what I just said, but that's exactly what she said. And Mama D said that there's roaches there. Ernest compares his mom to his woman, which I find completely weird, but a lot of men are like that anyway. And he says that he loves her more than he loves Mama D. And I think that in this case, Mama D has a point, because Ernest is, what, 70 years old, and he's still dependent on his mother. But I think the problem here is that her delivery is wrong. Like, she's overbearing. I don't know. I don't like her, but she's funny. She's good for TV. And I think that it's hilarious that she's mad at Ernest for being a mama's boy when she's conditioned Scrappy to do the exact same thing. Like, all she does is be in Scrappy's business, and Scrappy just lets her most of the time. So it's karma.
So Carly Red, Tammy, and Rashida also meet up for a little tea spilling session. And Carly tells them about Jocelyn just having her baby. And I'm just like, what? why are you even telling them? They don't give a fuck. Like, I thought there was gonna be more to follow up, but like Tammy was just like, congratulations to her, and like they kept the conversation pushing. Once she mentioned this though, they asked about Mimi. That conversation didn't last too long either. It was like they talked about, as soon as they mentioned Mimi's name, Carly Red was ready to tell them that there was problems between Arian, Mimi, and Melissa. And I was just like, what? Why do these girls fuck with Carly? Like, why are you guys friends with her? You guys are meeting up and discussing your other friend. Where they do that at? Like, this is why I ain't got no damn friends, because ain't nobody about to be sitting around discussing me, okay? Now, when I'm not there. Hell the fuck no. To make a topic switch or to start a new conversation, Carly was always the one to say, well, did you know this? Well, did you know that? And so the first thing she brought up was the Arian situation, and she basically insinuates that there was a threesome, and that is why there's problems now. And Mimi was definitely keeping the fact that her and Melissa were dating a secret. Like, that was supposed to be a secret. It was on the lowest of lows. So then she switches the topic again. She just starts telling Tammy that Tammy and Tommy do not need to be friends. And Tammy was like, why? Like, I like her, like, blah, 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 blah. And Carly was just like, no, y'all don't need to be friends. So then she gets into spilling her own tea. And she brings up the fact that Cena told her that young Jock is fucking Tommy. And I said, Cena don't know nothing. Like, and I'm just like, this is hearsay. Like, and so when she said that, Tammy was like, I don't believe that. And so, of course, she brought up the fact that it sounds like karma. It's more of a revenge thing than anything. And I'm just like, yeah, like, I can't even picture Tommy. Like, if you compare Scrap DeLeon to Young Jock, you would know that Tommy was not fucking Young Jock, like, or is not messing with Jock in a sexual way. Like, no, never that. While this is going on, Rashida interjects and she says, wait a second, wait a minute, you are cool with Cena. And then Carly's like, me and Cena been cool since before Jock. Like, and I'm just like, oh, so she's saying that they have been cool since before Young Jock and Cena were even a thing. And I was just like, okay. Didn't know that. So they both agree that, so Tammy and Rashida agree that it's karma, 100% karma, and that Carly basically deserves it because Carly was messing with Scrap DeLeon before he went to jail. Rashida mentioned that Scrappy was having some bachelor party and or like a newly single party, and so Tammy was saying how she was like dumbfounded by that because he called her at however o'clock in the morning crying about Bam and whatever Ray Tay 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 Tay. So she's kind of like, what the hell is this party about? Like, that's whack. So Rashida says that she's gonna go to the party, but she's not going alone because Kirk is supposed to be there. Kirk may be there, so if he's there, she's gonna need a friend to be with her. And so she tells Tammy that she has to come with her, and Tammy obviously agrees. So in the next scene, Lil Scrappy that met up with Miss Mama D's crazy ass to spill tea. Like, this entire episode was just tea spilling session after tea spilling session, and I was just like, which grown man meets up with their God knows how old mother to spill tea? Like, let me know, please. I don't care if it's for a TV show. Which grown man meets up with their mom to spill tea about other people? Like, do better. Anyway, he invites her to the party, and that's the other thing too. Who would invite their mom to their newly single party? Like, why are you inviting your mom to a party? It's the same like how she was at Jocelyn's baby shower. Well, baby shower is completely different, but like when she was there, I was just like, why is Jocelyn referring to Mama D as the queen of Atlanta? Is that true? Like, Atlanta, is that your queen? If that is your queen, y'all need to behead her because I don't know what is going on. No, that can't be your queen. So Mama D tells him to uninvite Ernest, and he says he'll think about it. And then he mentions the fact that he invited Kirk and Rashida, but he said it in a way where he was hinting that it was going to be awkward or a problem. So Mama D responds like, oh, what's going on with them? And this is when he starts to spill the tea on them to his mother. I'm actually surprised Mama D didn't already know, because Mama D be up in everybody's damn business. So I don't know how Mama D didn't know the drama between Kirk and Rashida, but Scrappy started telling her from beginning to end what is going on between them. While he's telling her this, Mama D was shook. Okay, she was shook out of her damn granny panties, child. She was just shook, okay? But I must say, even though I was like, what kind of grown man spills the tea to his mom? I must say that I was dying while he was telling his mom, because she was sitting on the edge of her chair waiting for him to tell her what's next. And when Scrappy said that Kirk said he felt like Jesus, that Rashida is crucifying him, I was like, take me. Like, I was so dead. It was so funny. I love Scrappy. And then Mama D in confessional had me rolling. I wish I could insert the clip, but y'all, Viacom done got my ass on my last BBW review, okay? My Basketball Wives review last 2 weeks ago. They done got my ass. I had to crop out the scene that I put in, so I ain't playing with no more VH1 shit, okay? No, there will be no more inserted clips. I'm so sorry. I wish I could show you guys. Mama D was hilarious. Go watch the episode, okay? So yeah, she actually tells him that she's going to go talk to Shirlene, which is Rashida's mom. So she says she's gonna talk to Shirlene about the situation. I'm like, why, Mama D? Like, you don't have no business talking to Shirlene about this. Like, she is absolutely insane. But Scrappy basically asked her not to, and she says she'll think about it. In this next scene, Waka is taking Tammy out on this supposed to be romantic ass date. And they ended up at a damn movie theater, child. I said, Tammy is overdressed, baby. Like, she was overdressed. She had on her pumps. She was wearing a nice little skirt. Like, she looked like she was going to a fancy ass restaurant. She was dressed to the nines. But he only brought her to the twos, child. He brought her to the damn movie theater, okay? Well, I'm like, are they really about to watch a movie? But this is Love and Hip Hop, so that would never be the case. Waka rented out to the theater and had like a little table set there, a little candlelit dinner. And he tells her to pay attention to the screen, and because she's like, what are we watching? And then this VH1 special of their love, their best moments, their lovely moments, their clips together, their pictures, a slideshow, bitch, started playing on the big screen. And I was just like, so unimpressed. I was just like, really? Maybe I'm too cold, but like, Waka, you cheated multiple times. This is not... I don't even know why Tammy entertains him. Like, I don't give a frig if they're married. Why are you entertaining it? Like, and so Tammy's actually crying while this is playing. It was a sweet gesture, okay? I'm not that cold. It was sweet, but I was just like, I'm just over it. Like, how many times can you do wrong by your woman? Not even just your woman, your wife, and continue to expect her to come back to you. Like, but because Tammy does always take him back, he knows. Like, Tammy ain't divorcing nobody. Like, I don't know why she plays hard to get. I don't know why she does it. Even at the dinner date, even at this movie theater date, she was playing hard to get. So Tammy actually admits that she's a big softie and that it kind of made her walls come down because she really appreciated what he did in this movie theater. And at the end of the slideshow, it said all of the social medias and his passwords to them, and they obviously blurred the passwords out. I think his phone password is Waka, but I'm not sure, okay? Yeah, so he gave her all the passwords to his stuff, and I know she used them because not too long ago she was posting his DMs between him and whichever bitches, and so she was on his shit and she was looking dumb. Okay, so to each their own. I mean, if your man does wrong by you more than once and you catch him, why are you taking him back? Like, the love is not worth the heartache, okay? It's just not. And so that's why we don't feel bad for Tammy the same way we don't feel bad for Rashida. Either way, by the end of this, even though she said her walls kind of came down that she built between him and her, she still was playing hard to get towards the end of this date. And she most certainly took a picture of the screen so that she would have all of his social media passwords. The thing with it is you shouldn't have to check your man's phone, and you shouldn't have to feel the need to check your man's phone. And she said to him, so what, I'm just supposed to be checking your phone for the rest of my life? Like, and he basically, or checking your stuff for the rest of my life? And he said, no, but I just want it to be open. Like, I just want to be open with you, and you have access to it. I'm just giving you access granted, bitch. And so that's basically what that is. But at the end of the day, he's a man, and he will delete shit before she even sees it, unless she stays on it all day long, which I can picture her doing. So you know what? Here's what it is. He actually invited her to Europe because he's going on some 2-week Europe tour. And so he invited her to Europe, but she declined. And this is why I said she was playing hard to get. She said she has too much going on. She cannot come to Europe. She doesn't want to go with him. So he asked for a goodbye kiss, and he says he hasn't kissed her in 6 months. And she said, you can have a peck. They made out. One no peck, okay? The camera's cut, but I know that they made out. In the next scene, Miss Shirlene's hair was poppin', child. She had a short little cut, and her hair was purple, and she looked cute or whatever. And then Miss Mama D actually came to the store to meet up with Shirlene. The joke is, every time we see a scene of Things Boutique at the mall, is empty. But I'm sure Rashida's making her coin. But I'm just saying, ain't nobody ever in, like, do they close the store down for a couple hours to film these scenes? Like, that's kind of crazy. Anyway, Mama D is messy as hell, and she is here to spill the tea to Miss Shirlene, or at least to ask Miss Shirlene what's really going on. Mama D is actually now taking the information that Scrappy just told her 2 scenes ago and telling it to Shirlene. And she's telling Shirlene what Kirk has said to Young Jock, because obviously nobody would know that stuff. Like, they're not able to communicate with Kirk. Rashida's not talking to him. I know Miss Shirlene can't talk to Kirk. Kirk is not going to tell them that he feels like he's Jesus, okay? Like, no. So obviously, this is good that Mama D has this information. And I was actually kind of surprised, because usually with broken telephone, stuff gets misconstrued and misworded and all kinds. But Mama D actually had a great delivery, and she basically told her exactly what Young Jock said. She didn't add anything in. She didn't take anything out. She told her almost word for word. And so I was like, wow, she delivers tea really well. Because, you know, sometimes when tea be traveling, it doesn't, by the time it gets to the person that it's supposed to get to, it's changed. And so I was actually really surprised that Mama D didn't, you know, she didn't mess anything up, make it more messy than it needed to be. And so by the end of this, Shirlene was just ready to roll over another one of Kirk's motorcycles, and she said that in her confessional. She does not fuck with this man. I knew after they had this meeting that it would definitely get messy as heck, okay? So in this last and final scene, Scrappy is performing at a club. He got a new song. It don't sound half bad, to be honest, but I can't say that I'll be streaming it on Apple Music. After Scrappy performs, Mama D introduces Gunplay. And this is actually at Scrappy's little event that he was putting together, his little bachelor party. Bachelor parties are for people that are about to be married, okay? Not for people that are just ending their engagement. Like, Scrappy has the world messed up, okay? He has it effed up. The club was empty as crap. It was very empty. And when the camera angles got the club how it actually looked, I was like, there is nobody in here. Why are these people, these extras? I want to know how much a Love and Hip Hop extra gets paid, if any. So once Scrappy finishes performing, Tammy is about to cuss his ass out on behalf of Bambi. But she was saying that she doesn't even really feel right being at this party because Bambi's her friend and whatever. And like, if she's there, that means that she's supporting Scrappy. So they're all sitting in this booth, and Stevie strolls in with a cute little thing on his arm. And guess what he calls her? The Panamanian Goddess. Does that sound familiar to you guys? The Puerto Rican princess, the Panamanian Goddess. I was like, he cannot be for real right now. Like, you cannot recreate Jocelyn. You shouldn't even want to recreate Jocelyn. And so they were like to her, oh, like the Puerto Rican princess, the Panamanian goddess, what's the difference? And so she gets up or whatever, and she's turning, and she does a little spin for them, and she says, because what is a goddess? But when she said, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You're supposed to say, because what is a princess? Because she's the goddess. She should have been like, but because what is a princess? Like, what is that? I'm a goddess. Like, she was dumb. Okay, you might have looks, but you will not always have a brain. Okay, sometimes you get one or the other, and if you're blessed, then you get both. But she definitely only had one. But her body was definitely banging, so we'll give her that. So they ask if he is her manager or if he is her manager, okay? Like they did with Jocelyn and in season 1. And so they both said that it's strictly business. We'll see how far that gets. Stevie seems to like to mess with his artists. So they ask about Kirk, and Rashida says she has no idea where he is. She thought he would be here, but he not. As they're all having this conversation, Treasure P storms in and is demanding that Mr. Young Jock speaks to her. And I'm just like, this is not, she comes in, she introduces herself, hi, I'm Treasure P, blah, 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 and then goes over to Jock and says, I need to talk to you. And she's like trying to like tell him to like, let's go, I need to talk. Like she came in, storming in there like she was pregnant and wanted to tell him like it's his baby. Okay, it was like too much. So she takes him out of the booth, and they go and stand by this bar, and she is annoying the hell out of me. I don't know why I don't like her. She's like a whiny. She's like, and then I can't even mock her, you guys. I can't even do it. Let me try. I can't. Her accent is so weird. Not even weird. Her accent is just, I can't. Anyway, she takes him to the side. And she's basically, she's begging for her job back. And I'm embarrassed because the bitch got on her knees in the club, in the dirty club. I said, this girl's musty. She got on her knees in the club to beg Young Jock for her job back at the radio station. Bitch, she was an intern. Like, why are you on your knees in the club begging Young Jock? Are you guys hearing me right now? Young Jock, okay? For your job back as an intern. What? I was like, I can't even deal. She was literally on her knees in the club. I said, you are filthy. Of course, Jock gives her the job back. Like, he probably never even really fired her to begin with. This is Love and Hip Hop. It is a storyline. That's what they do. Mama D comes out on stage now, and she says that she has a special guest. Girl, I didn't know who to expect, but I was not expecting Miss Shirlene to come out on stage. I was like, you know, Mama D always has a trick up her sleeve. She is like Carly Red in that aspect. Like, she always has a trick up her sleeve. And so she brings out Shirlene, and Shirlene is there to call out Mr. Kirk. The only problem was Kirk was not present. So she was just looking crazy and had her daughter looking crazy too. And I'm just like, come on, like, why would you even think to do this? So Rashida's mad embarrassed, and I would have been too, because why is my old ass mama gonna be on stage calling out my husband while I'm at the club? Like, it's not like Kirk was there and Rashida wasn't. Kirk was not there and Rashida was. And everybody know who Kirk is, and everybody know who Rashida is. So of course this is embarrassing for her. And so I did feel bad for her at this moment, because I'm just like, I would have to beat my mama up. Like, in all seriousness, she would have had to catch these hands. So she got the mic and she starts putting him on blast. She tries not to say too much, but she said enough to where people would know that he was being trifling. She calls him the dumbest man on earth, and she says that he needs to take a DNA test. I mean, we all agree with this, but this is just not the time or the place. I mean, he trifling, so you know what? Anywhere should be the time or the place. But seriously, Miss Shirlene was just doing too much in this moment. Your daughter's in the building. Let your daughter fight her battle for herself, you know? So once this happens, Rashida and Tammy leave as soon as, like, before the mama even finished, because it was just like, why are you doing this? Why? So they leave, and Miss Shirlene is still on stage going. They bring out a home paternity test, okay, on a silver platter with a lid on it. I said, what is going on here? So she has the mic and she tells Scrappy and young Jock to tell Kirk that he needs to come and take this DNA test. The whole shit was just messy as hell. And then the episode ended. But Mama D and Miss Shirlene are messy as heck. So that's all that happened. Next week will be Litty. And yeah, I smell popcorn. It smells good, child. It smells real good. But yeah, that's basically all that happened. I love you all, and I will definitely see you in the next one.